This is not a simulation. This place isn't just on a postcard. It exists in reality. You're not asleep, but this is a dream. And it's northwestern Wyoming. A state that some folks actually question the existence of. I can assure you of its legitimacy and its beauty. When you are in the throes of this place, your eyes grow tired because you cannot blink for fear of missing an ounce of it. This is the setting where we find ourselves. A week of living with a purple mountain's majesty, sky above the fruited plains. Following two men on a bucket list hunt. While the middle of September finds most hunters climbing into the high country after bugling elk, we are here to dip our toes in the sagebrush sea, attempting to catch up with the speed king of the sage, the pronghorn antelope.
I gotta be honest with you, I'm really nervous. To go on this trip and try and tell this story. There's a lot of layers that I want to get into. These tags are hard to get. I'm positive I'm putting the pressure on myself. To get to go on a hunt like this. This is a big opportunity as a producer, but also it's a big opportunity as a son to be able to be a part of a lot of this bucket list stuff with my dad. And also with Doug, who I've known all my life. I've followed him into the woods a lot of times too. I've got to be on my A game this week to make sure I do a good job, not only for content's sake, but also for my dad's sake. And for Doug's sake.
The pressure I'm feeling is palpable, but airport annex help ease my inner tension. Soon enough, we've gathered our things and we head out into the grandeur. We make our home base for the week in a small mountain town just east of Jackson Hole. And we get ourselves ready for the search of our quarry tomorrow. Our first full day in Wyoming. up with the sun, heading deeper into the plains in search of speed goats. It's at this point we have to introduce a new character.
She needs to come to my house.
Lyle,
You can take her. You can.
a local rancher and farmer who might as well be the mayor of his county. He's so well known and loved. When you live this far out, things are harder to come by, so his barns are full of tools, spare parts, and all manner of sundries.
I just traded for that.
Things that seem ridiculous until you need it, in which case, he has it. Lyle is a serial collector, wheeler and dealer, and aficionado of junk. And trust me, he has plenty. Not only does he keep around a plethora of what he calls trading stock, the walls of his barn are adorned with pictures from hunts and hikes and adventures past. Through work with the church, Lyle has befriended my dad and Doug and has helped them along on many adventures. As we visit, conversations turn to hunts gone by.
Two?
So wait, I almost lost my gun that year?
Well, yeah.
We almost chucked it.
I'd like to point out that it has never jammed on me.
Well, especially when Doug got back after we put it back.
And
He was going to put it back in the case.
It just opened up fine.
And,
Yeah,
And I bet I cycled it 100 times.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
I still don't know.
I might be operator error. I don't know. We tried
well,
everything.
no,
but-
I tried to bolt it, and
Yeah.
I handed it to him.
And then I couldn't get it to go
I
either.
didn't
So
do it.
it was karma or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, of course, that was the biggest one of the week, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, that was the big.
Yeah, we actually, that's the day we killed him.
Right.
We just had to switch guns.
Yeah, I just had to shoot Doug.
Yeah.
And he almost shot all my shells and didn't know it.
We didn't want to tell him that.
As we recount the misadventures of many of our hunts, we slowly turn more towards the present and start talking antelope.
I would be happy with either of those, Doug. Would you?
I'm sure.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that one's just because he tips forward so much. And we seen that antelope and went back 4 days later, and he was in the same spot within 100 yards of where we seen him the day, 4 days before.
That was it.
And it's not long after that, we all pile in and begin scouting for the week.
They're chasing so bad. Here
See
comes
the
that
two
one.
laying down, Ben?
The one laying down is really good. I don't see the other one.
One up by the road, the other one's back to the right in a little low place.
In that corner where those trees are, you can park in my property, which is a tribal lease, and then walk down the ditch and get back to his. Or it's
Can we get around that barn? Can we?
well, coming from my way, you can, and we'll
Okay.
drive up and I'll show you that, and then we'll talk to Jim and make sure the days. He wanted to make sure because he's got some other guys that were thinking about coming too. He didn't know what days, so we need to verify everything with him. And I can even just give you his number. Well, I'll introduce you, and then he's going to be worried about those cows. He's got a few cows in there, and that's his pasture as well. And his fence line runs right here.
We spend the rest of the morning and the midday driving around glassing and getting our bearings with not only the who and what with antelope, but the where and who owns what. Access is a big deal in the West, and having someone like Lyle, who not only has good neighbors but is a good neighbor, is key. There's one thing that's for sure.
He just average one.
There are a lot of antelope around.
Looks like his right horn's higher than his left horn. I think I've seen that buck in here. His left horn curls a little tighter, so he's about 1.5 inches shorter on the one side. I remember him, I think. If that's the one. And it appears it might be. Does he look like it to you, because that left horn is...
Even a couple that tempt us.
I'm just going to keep driving so he doesn't take up running from us.
If you don't want to shoot, I will. I'd hate to get one in on the first.
I don't know that I would. I hate to kill one.
I don't think I would.
He doesn't curl and he doesn't cut much,
That's the only thing is he don't have. Oh, but
but he's tall.
he's over 15 inches, isn't he?
Close to it.
He sure doesn't have much hook.
Again, you always say
Don't shoot on the.
don't shoot the first one, but then you get to the end of your hunt and you said
You should have
should've
shot the first one. We'll see more. I mean, you can, if you want to shoot. Are you thinking about it?
I would shoot.
If you were us, what would you do, Lyle?
There's a lot of antelope to look at.
There's a lot of antelope to
Yeah.
look at.
He's a really cool buck.
I think we're going to see more.
If he had just a little bit better cutters.
There he goes raking brush.
Yeah, I see that. They're in the rut.
I'm still. Hurry up and drive out of here.
We leave that buck and think about our options, and we head up the hill towards a cabin that Lyle owns. He's eager to show me how he had to tow it all the way up to the top. But more than anything, when we get there, he's eager to show me the outhouse.
I refuse to build a building without a porch. So even my outhouse has a porch. Nice door. Yep.
Nice view from the outhouse.
And we made it rubberized, and we have a deal here where you can take a shower with one of those little black bags.
That's not what I thought you were gonna say,
No.
but we've had a minute to pontificate on this. If that buck's down there at the bottom of the hill, are we shooting it in the rain?
Probably not.
Alright.
What do you?
Probably not.
Boy, am I going to feel stupid if we
Well, yeah, if you had
see that.
As we come back down the hill, the buck we left is now not alone. He's picked up 2 running mates.
really good. If you look at him.
Moscow.
Huh?
Willie Nelson. And nobody even knew who Willie Nelson was then. My friends would say, Willie Steve? Willie Nelson.
Yeah, but he's just not that good.
One cutter is, and the other side isn't.
And then he doesn't have much above the cutter.
Yeah.
His cutters are way high set on his. We're going.
Lyle doesn't even stop and give them a chance. He simply drives on, hoping that he's right about our chances. We end the day seeing an absolute amazing amount of wildlife of all species, and we think that we have a plan in place for tomorrow. A landowner has given us permission to hunt in an alfalfa field where antelope have become a nuisance for him. So that's where we'll start, bright and early tomorrow.
All right. We are off.
You're gonna run your coffee, aren't you? Before and after show.
I guess.
You don't worry about my production style. You're an actor right now.
Yeah, we're pretending to be antelope hunting.
I'm an antelope hunter, the woods are full of them.
We meet up with Lyle, and then he escorts us to meet the rancher and landowner that's given us permission.
All right. Well, we'll run down. I'll park right there by the highway, and I'll jump in with you guys, and we'll run in and talk to Jim, and
Okay.
then we'll make a plan, see what he thinks, and
Okay.
I think this is the first time that he's ever had anybody that can access through my property around the backside, so it might change the dynamics of what we do.
Okay.
We'll see you down there.
All right.
He's soft-spoken and kind, and wishes us well. We then take a moment to glass and make sure we have the right plan in place.
He had cows in that pasture. And
Well, I thought we saw them yesterday. didn't
Yeah,
we?
well, they were mine.
Oh, they were yours. Okay.
He left the gate open, I
Okay.
guess. Yeah, so, yeah.
With them scattered like this, Lyle, if one of us shoots and we can get it off the field, that we probably can just set, because all these others will finally filter in, won't they?
Possibly. I think maybe the plan would be to just drive up and get parked up there, and maybe go ahead and walk over and get set up in behind his buildings there. But there's a little knob right there where he doesn't have the hay cut on it, and I think access to sneak up on him is pretty good back on that back side. Yeah.
That's what I was telling Daniel. Maybe we won't have to crawl. We got enough.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
think you got plenty of cover.
Yeah.
And then once you get, it's a quarter of a mile walk from where we're going to park to the, and then just walk down the ditch bank and get in those trees. There's some way over in Emmy's lease over there.
Yeah, right on the fence row over there.
Yeah, there's a buck chasing them. That's a buck coming this way, isn't it, Doug?
There's a white thing out there.
Yeah, with the antelope.
antelope.
a
Yeah,
buck
you can see him.
antelope.
He's walking out.
He's a buck too.
Yeah.
What is this one laying out here in the field?
Right here in front.
Yeah.
That's a goose.
That's a goose. Oh, okay.
Man, antelope have 4 legs, and
I don't have my binoculars.
I need to remember what we're hunting here.
Anticipation is high. As we begin our stalk into the field. The further we stalk in, the wider my grin gets. The setting, the animal, it's all things I had daydreamed about since I was a child. I was expecting for it to feel so different. And it was, but yet it remained familiar because of who was with me. I have been following these two men's feet into the wild since I was able to stand. And now, to be walking along with them as an equal almost brought me to tears. We have a lot left to cover on this hunt. It is far, far from over. But for now, I just wanted to stop and say, ever so simply, that I'm grateful.